That's fair. I also really liked what they did when they, like, it was like they always talk about, oh, well, Lincoln got rid of slavery, but this was nice because it showed just how much work went into it and how many people were involved in trying to, like,
yeah, and like how
people.
crooked you had to be to do it.
Yeah,
too. That was
and how like all these
Politics
people just
has always been
fought
crooked.
it so much.
Yeah.
I feel like we learned that today.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see like the amount of effort that actually went into that situation, regardless of whether or not it was completely historically accurate.
Yeah.
But it still shows that there was a huge process, not
It's
just
true.
a...
I feel like they probably did the research fairly
Well, it was based on the autobiography, right? Spielberg's
Yeah.
been trying to make this for like 10 years, but
Yeah.
the woman who wrote it, the like autobiography wasn't. Or, wait, the biography.
The woman who wrote
the woman who wrote it,
Lincoln's
Abraham
autobiography.
Lincoln. Yeah, she never really got published in time, and so I feel like it must be pretty accurate. I'm not one of those fact checkers.
No.
But yeah, it was interesting to learn just about how close it was to not passing, and like how very different everything would be.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you see those moments that kind of go down in history, and how close and how tight it is, and how much of a struggle it is. You think of things like today, how close and tight these things are, and you realize you don't just assume, back in those days everybody was for abolishing slavery.
Oh, we should abolish slavery. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it was a hot.
It's always
issue.
been a fight. Anytime you want to do something that's right, it's always a fight, and I think that's kind of why I said that other part about watching again.
I love the scene where they're arguing about abolishing slavery. That's many scenes, obviously, but they're in like the House of Commons or whatever. And the guy's talking about like why you shouldn't abolish. He's like talking against it, and he's like, "So we're supposed to abolish slavery?" And like all the Democrats cheer, which was really interesting. The role reversal.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. How like the Democrats were
didn't want
against it, and the Republicans were the one fighting for it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all the Democrats they cheer. They're like, "Boo! Abolishing slavery! Boo!" And then he's like, "Well, what's next? Should we have vote for black people?" And they're like, "Oh, boo, that's awful, that's terrible, we shouldn't do that." And what after that? Votes for women?
People like stood up and left.
Everyone's like
women
standing,
voting.
like screaming. It was like, whoa.
We can't.
Votes for black people abolishing slavery? We're kind of against that. But women
Votes
voting?
for women,
No fucking
flip a
way.
table.
Everybody's against that.
Everyone, nobody's cool with that one.
And we can see it still today in politics, where there's a black president, but there's never been a woman president before. So maybe it's true. Maybe black men are
More well-liked than women.
than women of any race. I think my favorite.
I have friends.
I think my favorite scene actually was when they do pass the amendment that Lincoln is kind of the last person to know.
Yeah.
He's because obviously it has to be passed by Congress, and so everybody in the room knows. Everybody that's being fed on the wire knows, and Lincoln is at home with his son, and he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know this is until a messenger comes to him, which is pretty interesting that he's not really present at the time that this thing is passed.
I imagine that'd
but
be a
he's
scary
the one
thing,
kind of the
though.
figurehead for it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting.
Well, I feel
that
like a lot
kind
of... I know that a lot of politicians, obviously it's different because it's about them being elected as opposed to a bill, but a lot of them do the similar thing. Like I know John McCain, when in the 2008 election, on the day of, when everyone was voting, he like went to the movies.
Yeah.
They kind of separate themselves, and whatever will be, it will be.
Well, it's hard if you like put your heart and soul into
Yeah, and
something
if
and
you
it doesn't pan
and you
out,
care that
like...
much, and you have to watch each yay and each nay and all.
I liked
that.
how Matt's put nay.
Nay.
I like the one guy that was like, no. Okay, maybe yes, I'll do it. You know what? Never mind. I'm not voting at all.
I was gonna sit this one out.
And he
Yeah.
like sits down, like puts his head desk. Like I'm just not going to look at anyone for a while.
I feel like whoever decided that the vice president of the Confederacy should be Rorschach was not in the best of judgment.
Really? I feel like I thought it was.
I had no problem with
believable.
any of the casting.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean like attempted humor. Watch it fall flat. No, I was kidding.
Okay.
I can't remember that actor's name now. He played Freddy Krueger. Oh fuck, that movie was awful.
He played Rorschach.
But he played the guy who played Rorschach. He was really good.
He was really good.
Yeah, I had no beef with him.
Okay.
Well, this is awkward.
Great.
I'm just gonna go
Both of
leave
us
and
are
let
like, I
these
like
guys
that,
finish.
actually. What are you talking
we
about?
enjoyed that for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think the movie was really good, and I think right now it's time for Babe Rundown.
Babe Rundown.
Babe Rundown.
This is a feature that we figured out in the Skyfall review.
Where we have
I
to-
forgot to do it with you.
We have to run.
We
down
have to
the
run
babes
down
in the
all the
movie,
babes in the movie.
of which there were none.
I was gonna say there weren't.
They run down over.
any.
Sorry. Okay. Babe Rundown over.
Sally Field, there you go.
Oh, good. Have fun tapping that hot Sally Field.
Yes.
Was there no?
There was very few
Joseph
women in this movie.
Gordon-Levitt.
There was.
I'd like to point out the fact that we haven't brought him up at all.
There wasn't really much to bring up. I like JGL. I'm a JGL fan, but
I
like,
felt like his part was very not important. I was kind of confused
It was-
as to why it was there.
It was just. I mean, he played the son of the president. It was just like, you know, he was involved and he.
And I'll
Yeah.
pick him as my
I feel
babe-
like he
my
was
babe
almost
rundown.
more so there to, like,
to bring in the whole crazy Sally Field, Lincoln's wife
That's fair.
dynamic, right? Because he was really the
Yeah.
catalyst for their arguments.
And I think like beyond the crazy wife aspect of it, I think he was also there to kind of show how if you lived in the North, you were kind of, you know, expected to be part of the war, and it was kind of a sense of pride and
Yeah.
you know, you kind of if you weren't in the war, you weren't, you know, a true
Weren't
Yankee
useful.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
No
And
purpose.
so, you know, he's the son of the president. No politician ever has their, you know, their son fighting on the front line.
Yeah.
But he wants to be involved somehow. He wants to be, you know, when he's remembered as the son of Abe Lincoln in history, he wants to be it wants to be noted that he was there fighting for this cause.
that he made his contribution,
Yeah.
which
So-
is fair. I
Yeah.
just feel like I don't feel there's much to comment on really. He did.
No.
It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He did a good job.
He did a good
There's-
job. I mean, he only had, you know, 5 minutes or less of screen time, really.
Yeah,
so it's,
exactly.
I mean,
Seeing
it's
as
hard
there was
to.
no attractive women in that movie, I'm gonna pick him as my babe rundown.
That's your choice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
He's my- he's my
Joseph
favorite.
Gordon-Levitt is the babeliest babe in Lincoln.
Yep, he
Definitely.
is.
Yeah,
I'd have that.
there's no babes.
No.
All right, so any other comments before we get to verdicts? Oh yeah,
The
sorry. The
ending?
one thing I didn't like.
The ending.
So Lincoln